Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to the Health and Wealth Podcast with your hosts, Tim and Carter.
What's trending in Richers? Carter Wilcoxon, founder of CSI Financial Group here, with my co-host and former wealth advisor, Tim James, founder of
ChemicalFreeBody.com and your new health advisor. This is the show where we reveal the connection between physical and financial abundance.
Hey, welcome back in Richers. Very nice to have you. We are very excited about today's episode because, as my co-host, Mr. Tim James, Mr. Chemical Free Body himself, and I were talking, this is actually quarter 100 episode for us. So we wanted to give success stories of the Health and Wealth Podcast show. So, Mr. Tim James, how are you doing, bud?
I'm doing awesome, man. And you know, this is kind of a blessing in disguise because we had a guest that come on. He had some family stuff happen, and we just shot an episode yesterday with Nancy Addison, which was awesome. So I hope you guys enjoyed that episode. It was great on the health side of things.
Totally.
And I was like, wow, Carter's like, we've done 25 episodes. We're already at the quarter century mark. I was like, wow, why don't we just do an episode? We'll talk about some of the success stories and some topics of the day, and just have a really nice show and bring some more value, because there's a lot of things that we're getting a lot of really good response from the advisors that have come on to our platform and to the health. Now, as we're starting to bring on more health, like gurus, like people that are in the health field that are doing cool things to help move public health forward. We want to share these stories with you and also let you advisors know that, and people, if you're a health guru and you want to come on the show, that'd be great. That this content, especially for the advisors, is very good. You can take our podcast once you record with us, and then repurpose it and put it on your website to give yourself more credibility. And that's what the advisors have been doing. And Carter, you can talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah. Let me dive into that real fast because this is important. As I've been sending out feelers, if you will, to advisors to start a relationship. And it's, the best way to start any relationship is really like giving them something. I was just interviewing an advisor the other day, and he goes, yeah, but what's in it for you? But I get that, you're going to have me come on the show and I'm going to talk about myself and my backstory. And I know you own another business or two or whatever, but, I'm still not understanding what's really in it for you, why I should be on the podcast. And I'm like, I said to the guy, I'm not going to say his name, but I said, look, here's the deal. I don't care if we never do any type of business with my other businesses at all. This is about the Health and Wealth Podcast show. Is it a great way for me to start relationships? Yes, but we're not going to give you something, and be backhanded about it, so to speak, right? We actually do want to start a relationship by giving something for you, because I tell them during the interview process, if you will, that right, wrong, or indifferent, if you've been on radio, TV, or a podcast, you automatically, by default, have more credibility. That's just the facts. And we all know what was supposed to happen in 2030 happened in 2020. So everything's been accelerated. So podcasts and TV and internet and websites and things of that nature, especially for my advisors, you have got to have, some search engine optimization, some SEO, right? Podcasts really help to do that. But I told the guy, I said, look, I want to hear your story. I get something out of this every single time I have an advisor that I'm not doing business with yet. I get something out of it because I get to hear their story. Right? These are real people that live real lives trying to work with real, customers, clients, right? So I say, but I want to hear it, right? I'm interested because everybody has a great story to tell. So in this certain individual, which actually ended up agreeing to be a guest on the podcast after he finally realized, yes, I want you to be on here regardless of what happens in the future with us. But his backstory is going to be really, really awesome. He actually grew up and moved here as a political refugee from Russia during communist, Russia when he was 10 years old. So I'm like, dude, I can't wait to hear all these stories, right? So now he's a financial advisor. He's starting his own RIA. Anyway, great story. And he finally realized this really is something for you to start out with in the first place. But I got to tell you, I get very little pushback like that because advisors inherently understand that they want to be able to expand what their bio or website says about them because it does a disservice to them. It doesn't really tell the story.
Well, do you remember that we just keep it nameless, but remember we reviewed that other advisor's website, and I mean, you couldn't get more of a generic cookie cutter, boring ass website than that. I mean, it was so dull, right? There's no personality to it. He's probably hired some company and it's just cut cookie cutter paste, put in his bio, put a picture up, and it's just plain and boring. And, you know, as far as like to answer what that guy's question was, is like, what's in it for us is that, you know, for your business, like we get to, not only do we get to learn these stories, but, you know, you get to talk to people that could be potential clients, because as soon as they really learn and meet you and find out, like I've said many times, like if I was a financial advisor still to this day and I wasn't doing the health stuff, I would hire your company in a freaking heartbeat, because of like, I wasn't a tech guy back then. I'm a little bit more now because I had to, because I have an e-commerce business with our supplements and stuff, right? We ship all over the place. But before that, I didn't know anything about this stuff. And I had one of those stupid looking, generic, boring ass websites. What was separating me from the competition? What was my unique selling proposition? You know, for me, it was basically my personality, right? And then I would do a really good job and then somebody would refer me. That's an old, slow way of building things. Right. And and a lot of people go out of business before they can get the referrals chugging. Right. So with you having that turnkey system to plug into, it's like we have advisors on, they see the turnkey system. It's kind of hard to argue it. It's like, and then they come into your business. Right.
Yeah.
They come into your business. And for me, everybody's a potential client, because these, you know, I can't even tell you how many times we've had somebody on and then afterwards they ask for my number from you, and then they call me like, dude, I really want to get my health straight because I just a light bulb went off, and I'm like,
yep. Yeah,
I mean, I'm helping people with their money. I'm helping myself financially. I'm doing great now, but I got this issue. I got that problem. My gut. I'd like to lose some weight. my energy's gone. I can't do it. I can't do what I want with my kids or
sex
my grandkids.
drive.
Sex drive. My grandkids anymore. My life, I just like, I can't enjoy the money that I've accumulated. And I started thinking about it. It's like my clients are dealing with the same problems that I have, almost all of them. So what we want to be able to do is when people come in, there's tremendous benefit. It's a win-win situation. It's like a win-win-win.
Yep.
We win because we get more clients. We get to help or get our message out. The advisor wins, or the health guru wins, because they get to get their message out. They're edified. They come onto a platform that they can repurpose onto their website, use that content over and over, cut up little segments. We let them do whatever they want with it. And then the clients win. Their clients win. The people that are on the other end of these other health gurus, they get new information. And then also the advisors can help their clients now, not only with like the wills, or the setting up their estate plan, which is so critical. And then you beat it into people's heads that like, you don't need to be a billionaire to get your estate plan done. It doesn't need to cost $1 billion, and we can have 90% of it done in 90 minutes. Right. And take the fear out of that so people can protect their assets, because the bottom line is the average person, let's say somebody's got a house, right, and it's worth $250,000, and they got $100,000 in an IRA and $50,000 in checking. Well, they got some assets there. And I'll bet your bottom dollar that if the husband dies and let's say he, you know, something happens, right, didn't take care of his health, and he has a seizure. Okay. And he has a seizure and he swipes and kills a family in the car. Okay, it's bad enough for the wife that the husband's dead. And it's bad enough for her to have to realize that her husband killed a family on the way out. But guess what the lawyers are going to do? They're going to take that house from her. They're going to take that $100,000 in his IRA, and they're going to take the $50,000, and she's going to be left destitute. That's what's going to happen because they didn't have a trust put in place. Yeah. So this show is about trickling down to the working class people and helping them get their shit in order, so that we're in such a litigious society. And our show is also about helping people get their shit together when it comes to their health, and stop believing in all these, you know, these public health officials that are running around and saying one size fits all medicine.
Yeah.
Right? So, dude, we're doing a lot of really good stuff here. We're helping. It's the ripple effect. We help the advisors, we help the health gurus, and then they're able to take this message and this information out to their clients and really make a difference. And there's just like, there's so much more that we can do here that we're not doing yet. And you know that both of us, we just started this for fun because it was our highest excitement. I was like, yeah, sounds good. Let's do it. You're a cool dude. I'm a cool dude. Health and wealth sounds fun. You know, we put money into it. There's obviously there was no revenue coming back from it, but now there is on your end and on my end, not from the show itself. Yeah. We're not asking for donations or anything like that. Patreon. Maybe we will. Maybe we'll throw that up, because then we can hire more people and make the show cooler, right? Yeah. But I'm at my parents' house in my old bedroom right now, and I'm doing it on a chair out the end of my bed, my childhood bed, right? Yeah. It's
we don't have the Joe Rogan experience yet happening.
Yeah. So, but what is cool is what you said is like, we're booked out through December for guests. People are calling us now and wanting to get on our show.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. And people like the concept. So
it's totally awesome. I know we're coming up on a break and everything. And I know we're going to be talking about some other stuff. But you hit a great bunch of points there. Look, the overarching theme here, as I'm talking to these advisors on, managing their expectations, I'm going to give you basically an hour to talk about yourself. Who doesn't love talking about their self, right? Especially, I mean, look, you've got a girlfriend, I've got a wife, right? I mean, you're struggling for, airtime as much as you can between, your significant other. This is a chance and an opportunity for an advisor to really allow their audience, the listeners, our enrichers, to listen and understand, man, I didn't know that about him, or I didn't know that about her. And wow, that's really interesting. That's really awesome. And guess what? Now it becomes emotional. It becomes actually one of those situations where the old saying of people do business with those who they know, they like, and they trust. This is the platform to really let that all out. And it's so funny. I'll have a conversation. And actually, you know what? Maybe we come back from break. Tim, you take us out for break, because I want to talk about what a lot of registered reps ask me about and how I answer something when we come back. So why don't you take us out? I think
you just did a great job. We'll be right back.
Are you concerned about being able to get all of your affairs in order during this trying time? Are you troubled by what would happen if you ever became incapacitated? Maybe you've been procrastinating in the past to address these issues, but now, more than ever before, you know just how important it is to get everything documented. Well, don't worry, because we can get you taken care of right from the comfort of your own home. Welcome to the revolutionary My Life Card Plan estate plan processing platform, home of the last estate plan you'll ever need. We are very pleased you are here, and rest assured, we can offer you a complete estate planning experience regardless of where in the 50 states you may live. Our unique transformational system combines efficiency, convenience, and professional support at levels you never thought possible for setting up your estate plan. Moreover, we will provide you with powerful, user-friendly dynamics that put you in total control of your plan throughout your lifetime. Call us today at 888-316-6040 or go to www.csifinancialgroup.com, and our team of specialists will be there to assist you every step of the way.
What's up, enrichers? Tim James here. I'm back with my co-host Carter Wilcoxon. And Carter, you wanted to talk about RIAs, registered investment advisors, and what was the point that you were?
Or registered reps. What I want to do is the number one thing that someone who's securities licensed, right? And we work with a lot of just insurance advisors also, which, by the way, are some of the greatest advisors on the face of the planet. Just because you're securities licensed does not mean you're necessarily the be all end all. I mean, let's not even forget about, someone who was the president of the NASDAQ, right? The biggest Ponzi scheme in history, right? You don't even need to name any names there on what happened there. In fact, he just died, I think, about 2 or 3 months ago, right? Anyway, Bernie Madoff, I said it. So here's the thing. They'll be like, well, I got him. What's the subject? What are we going to be talking about? And, when they hear the name of the podcast, the Health and Wealth Podcast Show, They're thinking, oh, we're going to be talking things about finance and stuff. And we rarely talk anything specific at all on this show. This is personal. This is not about, well, I said it on the first segment, right? But they were like, hey, well, my compliance department, they need to approve it. Do you have a list of questions? Like they have to get prepared for it. Like they're going to go on, on CNN or Fox News or something. And
I remember those days with the compliance department. It's a nightmare.
Exactly. But so their number one issue or fear or concern is like, well, it has to be approved through compliance. And I just simply tell them, I go, hey, there's nothing compliance concerning here. This is just you talking about you. We're not sitting here talking about modern portfolio theory. We're not sitting here talking about, specifics to annuities or life insurance or
you need to have 24% of your portfolio in real estate.
Yeah. Derivatives.
There's no advice given.
Yeah. That's my point. There's no advice that's given whatsoever. Are there suggestions and recommendations for things that we know about or whatever? Yeah, but we're not giving any type of actual financial advice ever, right? That's just not what we do. This is a show for advisors to come on, registered rep, insurance advisor, it doesn't matter, RIA, come on. We've also had attorneys and trust officers on here and everything too, right? Come on here and peel back the layers of the onion of what makes you, you. How did you get where you're at? And people want to hear that. And this is basically almost like a Cliff Notes Reader's Digest version of basically an autobiography.
Yeah. And it's nice because you get to, well, I'll give you an example for the advisors listening. If you're contemplating coming on the show, we'd probably love to have you, especially if you got a really cool story and you really care about people and you're trying to do what's best for your clients. If that's you, then you're a perfect fit. Or if you're somebody in the health space that has a really cool something or a story, or you've transformed yourself, you have a great product, we'd love to have you on the show. Totally lost my train of thought, but you're drinking water, so you can't talk. So
that's the whole thing. Yeah, I am drinking water. And
so I was talking about, having the advisors on the show. Oh, it's like, before I was a financial advisor, if you knew this, I was a mortgage broker and I did it for about 9 years. In the last 4 years of that, I became a reverse mortgage specialist. Mm-hmm. And it was really funny because my ex-boss was like, don't do those. They're a waste of time. You got old people sign 80 pages, takes forever. And I was like, well, I'm going to take a look at it. Because he also told me don't do construction loans. After I did my own construction loan, I'm like, dude, it wasn't that big of a deal. You just get an appraisal and it's whatever. Yeah. It's kind of the same thing. There's just some draws and stuff. It takes a little bit more, but guess what? They closed too, and people are building homes. So I started rocking the construction business, and then I started rocking the reverse mortgages. And they're not stupid. They're a tool that can be used for the right person at the right place at the right time, depending on their situation. And I've had so many people thank me after getting their reverse mortgage in place. But my point is that having that pulpit, being able to get up in front of those seniors at usually it was at restaurants. I'd feed them and do these mailers and stuff and give them free dinner, free lunch, and let them chat. And then I always had somebody come up and introduce me, right? Somebody always introduced me, and that was powerful. That was really powerful when somebody else introduces you, and then you can tell your story, right? So that's what we want to do. We want to create a platform for you to come and tell your story. That way it's not you talking to the client saying, hey, look at me, I'm awesome, and I do this and I do that. They're so tired of that.
Totally.
But when it's framed differently, when it's like you being interviewed on the show and we're gleaning like, what'd you do when you were growing up? And how was like this? And now you're a real person just like them. and then we really expose those faults at the end when they start asking personal questions about their health.
Yep.
Right. And then we give them those suggestions there. Yep. Then, they can really relate to them and they get to tell their story and they get to tell why, what's really separating them and what they do. That is powerful shit right there, because they can take that video and repurpose it and use it on their website. They could play it at events. It could be used for multiple things, right? It could be put on their social media channels. It could be used over and over again. And that way people are watching. It's like, wow, that's really cool. I really like that lady. I literally like that man. I think I'm going to go have an appointment with him and see if he could, manage my assets. I'm really interested in, like, he was really open-minded and it looks like he's really into estate planning. And I'm really interested in that. Right.
Yeah.
So it's the video footage, the way it's framed and the way you're positioned that is very, very powerful. and we don't charge anything for you to come on the show. We just want you to tell your story and have fun with us.
You know, Tim, it's funny, Tim, that you said we don't charge anything, because one of my most recent interviews was like, well, how much is it going to cost me to be on the show, right? And there are, you know, companies, that's their business model, right? They're like, hey, come on the show, and I've got this many followers, I've done this many podcasts, and yada yada yada. I'll charge you $9.95, and you know, we're going to do a press release, and that's great. That's awesome, right? This is just.
I was paying I did it. The first 2 podcast booking agencies, dude, that I used. That's one of them. You know, I paid $334 on average per show to get on shows.
Yeah,
$334.
Yeah.
You know, some of them were flops, some of them were mediocre, some were freaking awesome. Yeah. But that's what it costs. Now I have a better podcast booking agency. It's way less than that. They're just as good as the other ones. But the bottom line is that we're not charging for that. We just want your story. We want you to show up with your heart and just, you know, be yourself. And then boom, you have that video, you have that footage, and you can repurpose it. And then we want to continue to work with you. And if we can come into Carter's business and we can help you, great. You can use me as a financial advisor. You know, we were just talking about this before we started today. We're going to make a big deal of it. You have to do everything you can in the market today to separate yourself from your competition. Otherwise, you're going to get lost in the noise, right? The first thing is attention. You've got to get people's attention. Say, hey, I'm over here. Whoa, I'm over here. Once you got their attention, now you have to have some type of a message that will very quickly resonate with them to get them to come over to you. It's that simple. So the first step is getting attention, and there's nothing better than having a video like that. So one of the things that we want to do is that, you know, if it comes over here, you do a show with us and it resonates and it's awesome and you're using it, is that you can use me. I'm actually offering my time, and I know what I'm worth. I'm not going to say what it is, but it's going up every month, every year, because I'm working my butt off. But it's hundreds of dollars an hour is what I'm worth now if I didn't do the math. I will donate that time to you, and I will help you shoot another video. We can actually do a live call with you and your list. So if you have, you know, 200 clients or 2,000 clients or 20,000 clients, it doesn't matter. You have clients, and they're human beings just like us. And their number one concern, I know this, is their health. It's health. Health is always number one, because without it, you don't have anything. And those clients are struggling just like every other American is with their health. So how are you going to separate yourself? Well, we have all the tools that Carter has at CSI Financial and the estate planning and stuff, but you also have me, and I can do a live call with you in front of your list. You can mail to your list. We have a pre-done email to send out for you to make it easy. Actually, we should create like a workflow, three email system or something, just to get them in, and then we do a live call. And if, 30, 40, 100, 200 people show up, depending on however it goes, that's great. We record that. We do live Q&A with the guests. And then, boom, you have another video that you can put on your website. You can repurpose it. You can social media out to show people that you actually care. Because the bottom line is like, you can help somebody save millions of dollars. I had one client, we helped him save one appointment. He saved $400,000 in taxes just because he didn't have the information we had. By giving him that information and helping him do the paperwork and everything, he saved $400,000 that he was going to write to the IRS as a check. And instead, that became an investment for him that was generating him a 10% return. Pretty huge. It was a super high risk oil and gas investment, but guess what? It was a hell of a lot better than writing it, because how much return are you going to get on the IRS? Do you think they're going to send you any of that money back? I don't think so. So the point is like, we want to give you as advisors everything we can. And for the health gurus, you might have your own list. And if you want to have me come on and really hit a point like in detoxing or proper food combining or nutrition, or you want to talk about public health, you want to talk about masks, you want to talk about vaccines, I can come in and edify you because, that's just something we can do. So use us. Okay. We're here. We're tools, and we want to work with you. We want to help you build your business. We want to help you build your immune system. And I'm just excited about what we're doing over here. I want to do more of it.
Yeah, for sure. Being resourceful is the name of the game, right? And I say it all the time. Really, we set out on this journey to do 3 things better than any other organization. That's number 1, elevate the client's experience. That's what you're
talking about. CSI Financial. I'm
talking about CSI Financial Group. I said, and I know we're getting ready to come up on a break and everything. And when we come back from the break, Actually, you know, we're going to go to break. When we come back.
No, dude, go ahead. Go into it.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and go into it. Go to those
No.
three things.
When I come back, what I want to do is I want to give these three things. Number one is elevate the client experience, but I want to talk about why Epic Services Company was created and born from CSI because of elevating the client experience and the need that's so desperately out there. We'll talk about it when we come back.
You want the absolute best for yourself, and you want it to be easy. That's why we created Green 85. It helps with detoxifying the body gently. We're proud it's chemical-free, unlike almost all other supplements you'll find. Bottom line, Green 85 will get you healthier. We look forward to hearing what Green 85 did for you.
To get this product and our other amazing products, go to chemicalfreebody.com. That's chemicalfreebody.com.
What's up, Enrichers? Tim James here with my buddy and co-host Carter Wilcoxon. Carter alluded to the three things that he had a mission with CSI Financial, the three things that his company set out to do. Why don't you go into those step by step?
Yeah. So number one, as we said in the last segment, elevate the client's experience. Advisors, enrichers, advisors who've been on the show, enrichers that are listening. I'm talking about your clients. You have to elevate their experience. It has to be so different and unique and special and white gloved and handheld that they can't help but to introduce you. Thank you for talking about that earlier, by the way, Tim. Introduce you because of what you've done for them. The experience was so amazing. What does that do for your practice? If you have a bunch of what we call 4A clients, and that last A in the 4A client is an advocate. An advocate, every chance they get, talks about you, but bigger than that, they introduce you. That's a huge difference than a referral, by the way. Referrals are like, oh, yeah, here's somebody's number, whatever. No. Introduction is, hey, Tom, I've got Bill here, my advisor that I was talking about. Yeah, I got him here. Here, I'm going to hand the phone to you. That's an introduction. That's what you
That is a freaking gold mine. And let me just share something with you because these are hard to find, right? For most people. I get them all the time in my business, and I know you do too. And we want you guys to get this type of these advocates, these people that are just like raving fans. They're like, they go out of their way. Like, I have people that are like literally buying cans of Green 85, and it's, depending on what the 6-pack, 3-pack, 1-pack, whatever, they're investing 50, 60, 70 bucks, and they're just giving them out to people because they want them to feel as good as they do. But listen to this, dude. I just had this one come in yesterday. This came from this dude named Josh. He said, this is from one of my sisters. She just texted him. Josh, I can't believe how awake I am. I cleaned out the garage. I washed my windows. I hung new drapes. I haven't watched Netflix. I'm making smoothies every day. I'm eating better. I'm 3-mile walks every day. Thank you so much. She said, I love you too. 3 of my friends are going to order and 1 already has. So she's talking about our products.
Yes.
Like, so this guy's an advocate. He shared it with his sister. She's getting results, and now she's telling 3 friends, and one of them's already ordered.
Yes.
This is what you want. You want people at the barbecues, at the grocery store, at the Lions Club meetings, at the Rotary Club saying, dude, I got this guy over here or this gal over here, and they have rocked it. They have shown me things about financial planning and estate planning and they made it easy for me. And it's so, you have to go see them. You have to, in fact, right here's the phone number. Call them right now. You got to get an appointment with them. You have to take the ball. And when you have people like that, that's what you want. That's what Carter's talking about. Advocates.
Yes.
You want people out there that are like raving advocates, raving fans.
Yes. So if you elevate the client experience, number one of this journey that we set out to do, it leads to number 2, creating professional contrast, right? We talked about it in the last segment, Tim. Mm-hmm. What makes you different? If you're an advisor right now, and I get it, you've got the greatest algorithm and you got the greatest, annuity solutions, and guess what? That's the low bar. Every one of your prospective clients, they already know what you do, generally speaking. And when you start talking, just hanging your hat on, if you will, on products, pricing, and performance, guess what? You can always be outmatched. You can always be undercut. You can always be commoditized.
And you can always be lied to.
Well, that as well, right? So what this does, our entire advisor partner platform, what it does is creates professional contrast, right? That then actually leads me to number 3. I start out with basically a disclosure, a forewarning for the advisors. Now listen up. If you do what we know has been field tested and over have done these things, elevate the client experience, create that professional contrast, what's going to happen is you are then going to competitor proof your ideal clients. So here's what I'm going to warn you. Advisors, female, male advisors, doesn't matter, any of those insurance advisors, registered reps that are enlightened and are fully embracing our platform. You're going to need to be a little bit more selective because they are going to be yours in perpetuity. So I give them a little bit of a forewarning, Tim. I'm like, look, I understand. I know it. I get it. I've been in the field, right? I've been in the distribution space way before I went down the road. And we're going to talk a little bit about Epic Services Company, why it was started. Epic Services Company. We'll talk about that in a second. But when I was in the field, I knew that there's a whole bunch of things that were missing and lacking. And how am I going to differentiate myself? But my number one challenge, client acquisition, right? It all begins and ends with client acquisition. Well, guess what? If you get raving fans and advocates, you are now at no cost to you. Didn't cost you anything to get that new client because they came to you. Now, what's that worth? And if you have a bunch of advocates, think of it like this. Because of our process, if you have a bunch of raving fans and advocates, essentially, what do you really have there? Tim, what you have is your own sales force. They just happen to be your own, clients. That's what your advocates become, is your own sales force. We help you to create those 4A clients. And let me tell you real quick what a 4A client is, and then maybe if you have some questions, Tim, about anything, or if you want to allude to anything.
Well, I do want to talk about that really quick because you're talking about competitor proofing your clients. We've spoke about this before in previous episodes. If you're a financial advisor and you have like the blinders on and you're just helping your clients with that, you have to understand that these people have a CPA. They have a property and casualty insurance agent, right? They have attorneys.
Maybe.
Yeah, they have people that they know, right? And the CPAs, for some reason, the CPAs have the highest respect.
Control. Yeah, totally.
They're control. If the CPA says, go use this advisor, they're going to drop you like a hot cake. It's just like, boop, you're gone.
Yeah.
In most cases, that's what happens. So you're always having to try to fend off and protect yourself and defend yourself. So that's why, like when I was advisor, that triangle of a trust, we made sure that client, we started working with the CPA, or we got them a good one. We brought the attorney in, and when we did the financial planning, and in most cases, your financial advisor doesn't know, has not talked to your CPA and has not talked to an estate planning attorney. In most cases, they don't even know each other. And in a lot of cases, you don't even have some of them. Most people don't have the estate planning piece. They may have the CPA, but they don't have the they don't have that triangle of trust, which is a kind of a core theme to what you guys do.
Yeah. And I want to talk about those 3 components here, and that's a perfect segue into Epic Services Company. So because of the success that we've been having with advisors throughout the country, we wanted to expand our reach and our access for advisors and their clients to bring to market something that really is unavailable, right? This ecosystem of specialists in what we call a multidisciplinary team approach, where we can get your estate and legacy planning done, but we have this proprietary process that we call our 90 and 90 formula. And it was funny. I was just having a conversation with another one of the corporate trustees that we're looking to partner with on things that we can provide, benefit both of us. And whenever I was talking about our 90-90 formula, he kind of started chuckling because he thought I was going to say we can get 90% of your estate plan done in 90 days or less. He thought I was going to say 90 days. He goes, Carter, when you said 90 minutes or less, I was like, wait, what? What's that all about, right? So, and of course, we educate the clients on what that other 10% is. And what that other 10% is, Tim, we all know this. We have to deal with it for the rest of our life called change. The beauty of our platform and our system and our team and our ecosystem that we have is that when those changes occur in real time, you can make any edits, updates, and changes with the team that helped facilitate in the first place. So you've got access to not only our team, but that was why.
I think I should clear that up too, because what he's talking about here is like normally when you have an estate plan in place and you want to make a change, like maybe your daughter marries an alcoholic and you're like, I'm not going to leave any money to that son of a bitch. So you have to make some changes, or maybe you lose a child or the executor changes
or gain a child.
Or have a new child. People dread the thought of having to go downtown, go see an attorney and pay a lot of money and then have their executive assistant do all the work, but they still bill you at $3.50 an hour, right? With this platform, once it's in place, it's $97 a year?
$95 a year. I got to repeat that
$95 a year, and you have the whole team.
Yeah.
You can basically do most of it yourself. You just go in and changes. But if you're like, I'm going to make sure I'm doing it right, you just call in the team. Boom, it's handled. It's done. It's like $95. Like it's like such a no-brainer.
A year. I have to say that multiple times because people just inherently they're like, oh, that's a month.
Well, even if it was $95 every time you changed, it would be a smoking deal. But it's $95 a year. And what I like about it, you know what I like about that annual fee?
What?
Is it reminds people to update their trust every year. Because it's not just you have in your life, there are changes on the political side, right? So new laws and stuff get passed that might alter the way your trust is written. So you have to go in and amend those. We always recommended that. As when I was an advisor, we always recommended and we facilitated and pushed people to go meet with their trust attorney every single year just to be sure. Because why would you want to take the time, effort, energy, and money, put it in place, and then some jackass politician changes a law and they kind of mess up part, some, or all of your estate plan because you didn't go in and make an adjustment?
So that you make an excellent point there, that it's not just the change that occurs in your life, which is constant also in your family and the extensions of your family and all that stuff. Right. It's also the political, infighting and the political changing and, Congress and all that stuff, all those tax changes that occur and everything. It's a boon if you do this the traditional way. If you do it this way, you are in total control, and your advisor is the one who is at the center of everything to help quarterback and navigate all the team members. So you're in control as a client, and your advisor's in control to be able to help the client truly out. Yeah. Because it's just the right thing to do. This really is all about control.
Yeah. So, it's not forced. It's not required. It's not mandated. But with a financial advisor that really cares about their clients, once they understand about estate planning and how easy it can be today, especially with Epic Services, it's almost malpractice not to do this. It really is.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't really matter. Again, you could help them save up all their money, just like the health piece, right? Somebody's got $10 million in the bank or $1 million in the bank. That's great. But if they, kill somebody, then the wife is left, or the wife kills somebody, then, accidents happen, shit happens, and then all the estate's gone. Or they change a law and it's all gone, right? All the money's gone. Right. It can, there was actually another point. It was there's two sides of it. There's something if happens on your end.
Yep.
I lost my train of thought. I had a really good thought. It was really profound.
Yeah.
And amazing. But
yeah.
I can't.
Trust us, Enrichers. It was profound and amazing. And if we keep talking a little bit longer, I'm sure
maybe it'll come back to me.
It'll come back to Tim. But I want to talk about one additional thing, that this is the coup de grace. Right here, what I'm getting ready to talk about. So, Enrichers, listen up. This is a big, big deal that I promise you no other advisor has access to, nor are they doing this when it comes to securing your very best clients and really getting an opportunity to create those raving fans or advocates. Part of our what we call the estate plan, of which, Tim, by the way, you have older parents that are going through right now, right?
Yep. In 2 weeks, we meet with Sierra Lister, and we're going to get it wrapped up. I remember my 2 points. It was very simple. It was your health can fail. It could be an accident that crushes it. And the other one we just talked about, it can just be as a financial advisor, I would say it's malpractice if you don't help them protect their assets,
Yeah.
right? Because there's just a lot of things that can happen out there that are out of our control. And the motto here is that we want to prepare for the worst, but then expect the best.
Yeah, totally. Exactly. So,
Right.
No, and thank you for remembering that, because I was really I was wondering what was it. What was it? Okay, so you kind of sort of call it the triangle of trust, right? So I'm actually going to be sending this out because it's brand new as far as because we just launched Epic Services Company last week, maybe a week and a half ago, and to do this one thing, make accessible for advisors and their clients without having to be relegated to send them out to some disinterested, estate plan attorney has a totally different agenda than you to get this type of work done. But what's also included, which I did tell you this already, Tim, for your parents, is your legacy. So you've got estate planning, you have financial planning, and at the bottom with our estate plan, you're also going to have legacy planning. Now, people hear legacy planning, they're like, "Oh yeah, that's part of estate planning." No. This is about a system that we bought because we believed in it so much. This is the emotional connection that is going to completely change the game, because advisors that are out there, they offer estate planning services. Advisors, offer tax mitigation services. Advisors offer risk mitigation services and financial planning services and all that. A lot of advisors do that. We have it all underneath one roof with legacy stories. Make sure, and Richard, you go to our website, epicservicescompany.com, epicservicescompany.com. Click on the Legacy Stories tab. When you get there, what this is all about, the company that we bought, the timeline goes all the way back to 2003 when they started this launch of the Living Legacy Project. This is one centralized location where you can record and document your values, what makes you you. Not just the valuables, not just protecting them, that's what the estate planning stuff does. And the financial planning helps to put all that stuff together. The legacy stories and the legacy planning, as we call it from our perspective, ties in the emotional aspect of being able to have a voice literally recorded in one area, one system that lives there forever, about your family values and your family story that you can also share with other family members, and they can add content inside of there as well. So imagine this, Tim. This is where it started for me. Imagine being able to hear your great-grandfather's voice, somebody you never met in your life, but he's your great-grandfather, right? And you go back as far as you want to, because we can go as far as we want to in the future. You hear him there's a picture that comes up, and he's just basically talking about during this time in 1902, and this is what it was like, and this is where I remember. And then you can kind of transport your mind there and start thinking about that. That is the emotional part, that why we purchase Legacy Stories. That is additional. That is also what you get for the same price for advisors to offer to their clients, to be able to deliver truly differentiators other than your, products, pricing, and performance. That is going to be something that I promise you will change the game, and you have eliminated your competition when you start making this service available to them.
Awesome stuff, dude. I think we had a really fun episode here, short and sweet.
Yeah.
And I'm going to encourage everybody, of course, from the health side to, if you are, if you have some check body lights going on, you have, you're overweight like I used to be, you're on a few medications, you're just not feeling good, your energy's not there, you're not sleeping well, you have gas and bloating, maybe you have eczema on your elbows like I did, or you're bleeding rectally, whatever it is, you got some health issues going on. We want to help you get that right. And I would suggest that you guys go over to our website at chemicalfreebody.com and check things out. I also have my podcast at the Health Hero Show. We have detox and nutrition products that can help you start transforming and getting your health back. And we just clean out all the man-made crap. We teach you how to become your own body mechanic, basically become your own doctor, clean up the organs, clean up the digestive tract, clean up the blood, the fat and the muscle tissue, and the blood intercellularly, get all these toxins out, the heavy metals of radiation. You'd be surprised what happens when people start doing this. It is, well, just like this raving fan here. This gal's freaking running around cleaning everything. She's off Netflix and she's getting stuff done. You know, I had another guy who's a retired Navy vet, and he said that he's like, you know, the only downside of your products. And I said, what's that? He goes, my wife has me, my honeydew list has grown tremendously, but it's crazy. It's like, I'm mowing the lawn, I'm cleaning the gutters, I'm looking around for what else I can do. He goes, I haven't had this energy in like 25 years. It is awesome. So if you want to get your energy back, you want to get your health back, we have your back. I would suggest you go to the products tab at chemicalfreebody.com, scroll down to the savings bundles and start with a little jumpstart bundle, or you can go all in and do what I do on a monthly basis, which is the total energy and detox bundle, plus a bottle of the turmeric, which is the anti-inflammatory product that we launched a few months back. It's awesome. And or pick something in between that resonates with your budget, and then you get a discount that way. And then at checkout, just type in Enricher or Enrichers, either way, and you get a 5% discount on your first purchase. That's a double discount, and we have a double your money back guarantee on all your products. We really truly want to help you boost your health so that you can enjoy the finances and the income and the wealth that you're creating for you and your family. There you go.
Yeah.
Let's say about the health side.
And you know what? we absolutely welcome not only wealth advisors, but also health advisors to come on the show. You know, we've been able to have, you know, Sean was on, Nancy was on, you know, the stroke hacker was on here. And it's interesting that actually got another advisor to come on after they listened to that podcast, which is, I just had that meeting yesterday. That's my booked, through December 13th now is for that recording and everything. So anyway, yes, we really do. We want to have you come on here. And again, if we never do anything, if you never go buy anything from Chemical Free Body, if you never do anything with CSI Financial Group or Epic Services Company, it doesn't matter. We want to be able to have you come on, tell your unique story. And we know that you have one. That is the main reason for the podcast. But to your point earlier, Tim, you know, we've got people that are actually calling us to now get on the podcast because
and for the listeners out there too, it's like my goal with my show, and every time I do an appearance is like, or I do a coaching session, whether it's group or one-on-one, I just want you to take one thing, find one thing that really resonates with you, and freaking go take action with it. Yeah. You have to take action. There's a sign on a mechanic shop by my house, right? And it says, nothing changes if nothing changes. It's pretty simple. And I see it every time. I'm like, wow, it just really resonates with me. My motto at Chemical Free Body has always been change yourself, change your world. Like if you want your world to change, you can't get your wife to change. You can't get your husband to change. Kids aren't going to do it. Like if you want things to change in your life, you have to make those changes. And I hope, and I know that Carter does too, that if you find just one thing out of our podcast here that can help you and make your health better, make your life better, make your finances better, make your relationships better, make your spiritual practice better, make your career better. That's all we're asking. Find one thing every show and go take action on it, and then send us a message and let us know how you're doing.
Yeah. So this doesn't really, I'll leave us with this. And Richards, thank you for joining us again for another episode of the Health and Wealth Podcast Show. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. But I want to leave with a quote that I got just the other day. I found from Jack Dempsey, famous boxer back in the day. I'm pretty sure it was the teens or 20s, right? Teens or 20s are actually in the 2000s now. 19 teens or 20s, right?
Yeah.
And it's this something nice and simple. Champions get up when they can't. And that really just resonated with me because, you know, Tim, you and I and everybody listening to this, we've all been dealing with what's been going on, the crap that's been going on for the last 18 months. And I know a lot of people feel defeated, and it's easy to get defeated and to be beat down and everything. But when I read that quote just a week ago, I was like, I'm going to live that quote. Champions get up when they can't. I just love that. So anyway, do you have anything else that you want to add before we let everybody get going?
No, I think that's good, man. We'll just end on Jack Dempsey's quote. That was a really good one. I appreciate you sharing it.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Again, and Richards, thank you for joining us again. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, like I said. And you can always get any of our previous podcasts by going to our website, healthandwealthpodcastshow.com. We thank you very much. For my co-host, Mr. Chemical Free Body himself, Tim James, I'm Carter Wilcoxon, CEO and founder of CSI Financial Group and co-founder of Epic Services Company. Make sure to go check that out as well. Thank you all for joining us and have a blessed day. Hey, Enrichers. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Health and Wealth Podcast. I'm your host, Carter Wilcoxon.
And I'm your host, Tim James. And by God, we are committed to helping you guys have fat wallets, flat bellies. So tune in again for another episode and make sure to like, share, and drink a lot of water.
Or beer.
You have just listened to the Health and Wealth Podcast with Carter and Tim.